This is it. This is our Spurs preview. I'm joined by three giggling maniacs. Here we go. Thing to point out before we start. We are recording this before we've played Newcastle because it's Christmas. We all want to spend time with our families and do Christmassy things. We haven't got the time to come in and record this between the Newcastle game and the Spurs match. So we're going into this slightly blind, so bear with us. Don't complain. It's extra content, essentially. I'm still wearing my jumper because as far as we're concerned, Christmas hasn't happened. But for you, it has. So we'll start with Gaz. How was your Christmas?
It was fantastic, mate. Yeah, really.
I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased.
I'm so glad I got that Ferrari.
Ah, you lucky boy. I mean, I thought you deserved it, which is why I splashed out. Right, let's start then. We're playing against Spurs. We don't know what happened in Newcastle, so we can't talk about that. There's nothing to react on. Stephen, halfway through the season, sort of. Who's been good? Who's been bad? Give us some grades. Grades.
Has there anyone really been consistently in the team apart from De Gea to really grade? Okay. I'm going to say De Gea.
Whole season. So far, would you say Louis van Gaal? It's a B.
I'm going to give him a big fat B for Louis because he could have done better.
Copy my example. Why are you even here?
Well, that's my opinion. There's only so many grades you can have. I'm going to give him a B+.
Go on then. Talk us through it.
Right. Louis van Gaal gets a B+ because I think there's room for improvement. I think there's a couple of times where his selections maybe have been a little bit off and the formation maybe has been a little bit off. But I think he now knows the players and I think the players know his philosophy. So I'm giving him a little bit of room for improvement, but he's done well.
Okay. Gaz, what would you give Manchester United so far this season if you were their teacher? Are we looking at a C, a D, an E?
No, I think after last season, I'd go with B. Yeah, I'd agree with that for Manchester United as a whole. But I was going through the squad and there's only a handful of players who I'd say are guaranteed starters every week now. And I think they're David De Gea, Michael Carrick, and Wayne Rooney. I think when them players are fit, they're guaranteed to start. But I think it's got to a point now where even players like Di Maria or Falcao, they're not guaranteed to start when they're fit. So I think that's... Oh, mate.
Adam's just throwing some laughter because he's trying to create a vine.
What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Angel Di Maria is not guaranteed to start when he's fit.
No way.
He's the best player at the club, man.
Talking about 130
Hey, mate, I'm not
saying
that I agree with that. I'm not saying that I agree with that. I just think the system at times that he plays, I think he'd prefer a player like, I hate to say it, but a player like Mata, or maybe even when he needs a bit of physicality in the middle, he'd play Fellaini there because there's only so many attacking players that he can start. He's going to start.
If Angel Di Maria wasn't injured, regardless of Mata's goals or whatever, he would have been starting more than Mata has in this time, that the last month or so. Di Maria is our best player at the club. You've seen it when he started.
We'll see in the Newcastle game because if he starts Di Maria,
people already know.
People
watching this already know, guys. We can't talk about Newcastle because then they know we can't watch it yet. This is some sort of weird, futuristic paradox. All right, we can't mention Newcastle. What we can do is discuss this though, because they won't know about this. Transfers. It's not January yet, unless they're watching old ones. It's like being on Dave, isn't it? Right, January. Do we need to dip into the transfer window, Adam McCullough? If so, where? If not, why not?
I think we do. We do need to dip into the transfer window. As you said, we still got room for improvement. We still need to get some players out of the club. You see, there's Anderson.
Give us names. Don't be shy.
Anderson's still at the club. I think we need to improve the first team. At fullback. If we're going to keep playing with the 3-5-2 formation, then we need to improve on Ashley Young and Antonio Valencia. Is Rafael going to be given opportunities at right wing back? Play him there if he is. Obviously, he's been injured, so we need to see how he goes on. So we need some wing backs if that's going to go. We need a central midfielder. We need a centre back. Ramvlar, I'm not sure about that one. I'd probably wait till the summer if Hummels isn't available.
I mean, no one mentioned Ron Vlad. You brought him into the equation just to dismiss him, which was slightly odd. Stephen, do you agree with what Adam said? Do we need to get into the transfer market?
If the right players are available, I would go for them. I don't just think we should just go into the market just for the sake of buying some average players because we've got a boatload of average players that are around there at the moment. So if we can prize someone like Strootman away or Vidal away, although that's gone mega quiet, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. I would go for that, but I don't think you're going to get that calibre of player. I think you're going to get someone like a Ron Vlaar or a Shawcross in January.
Yeah.
So I say
transfers. You're sort of looking at your Fernando Torreses, aren't you?
We're signing Bale, aren't we?
Hassan,
Gas.
would you
Tiny Bale.
sign Strootman in January if he was available? Or do you want to see him given 6 months of football at
Hang on.
Roma?
Yeah, get him.
Brilliant. We want to hear from Gaz, guys, if you don't mind. You're talking over him. Gaz.
Really? After what I
summer,
said last time?
Gaz, come on. Do we need to buy somebody?
Come on, guys.
Shut up, Hulk Hogan. Right. So I honestly think that this.
Who's
I
Hulk
honestly think
Hogan?
this. Stephen. I honestly think that this
Maybe
three
let's
at the
have
back
Chubby Ollie
system.
Murs.
I think this is the sort of thing that he's only playing because he doesn't trust Ashley Young or Valencia as out-and-out fullbacks. So I think that if he bought some actual backup fullbacks for the first team fullbacks, Raphael and Luke Shaw, then that would be great. And I think we just play a flat back for most games. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a backup right back and a backup left back, or a player who can play both. And I'd also like to see a top class centre half as well. I'm not saying that I think it's going to happen because, like Steven says, I don't think the players are available. But if we do get them players in January and there's not a massive gap from the top, you just don't know what's going to happen, do you?
Okay.
Why do
Thank
you
you,
want to
guys.
buy backup players?
Stephen,
'Cause
really
backup players
quickly.
are going to be average.
Stephen, really quickly, tell us your
Because
team
they'd be
to
then-
face Spurs.
Because they'd still be better than Antonio Valencia and
Hey,
Ashley Young.
shut it.
Sorry.
Stephen, really quickly, tell us your team to face Spurs.
De Gea in net, McNair, Thorpe, Blackett, Shaw.
Block it.
Making a mockery of this.
Yeah, I'm taking a mic. I don't know. Let's see who comes through the Newcastle game. I'm sure you
Brilliant.
all.
Thanks so
you all
much,
know.
Stephen. That's really insightful. I'm sure the viewers will really have enjoyed your opinion on that.
Wilson can
I don't know.
start.
We'll just see what happens.
Everybody
They
can
know
start.
what happened, Stephen. They
Well,
know
I
what
know.
happened in the Newcastle game because it's
I'm going to
happened.
be sitting there going, "Why are you picking Wilson? He broke his head.
fool.
What are you talking about?"
Okay, all right, let's talk about
Oh,
Newcastle,
shit.
Gaz. Newcastle? God, this is a nightmare. Spurs. Gaz, we're playing Spurs. We've beaten Newcastle. That was 5-0. That was
Did
easy.
we? Oh, that was good.
Gaz, who do we need to worry about at Spurs?
Harry Kane, football genius.
Okay, anybody else?
Nope, just him.
Brilliant. Adam.
Harry Kane. He's
Brilliant.
all
And
right.
just copy Gaz.
Now, Christian Eriksen, I think is a fantastic player. When he played for Ajax, I thought he was quite good as well. And I was surprised we didn't make a move for him when we were looking for a central midfielder. He's come to Spurs and he plays fantastic. And when he plays well, they play well. So we got to keep him on lock.
Is he the knobhead who did the Rabona thing?
No, that was Lamela.
Lamela. He's a twat.
He's quite good though as
Brilliant.
well.
Thanks for the analysis. It's nothing like
Oh.
match of the day, this, is it?
Oh, I can back you
Stephen,
up.
who are you worried about?
You're capping Karol
I like
Poborski.
Lamella and I like Eriksen. I think they're both pretty classy players.
Okay,
But,
nice.
I'll do what I
That was
always
nice.
do.
That was a
Say
nice
they're all
answer.
gas and we're going to beat them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I have no idea how this is going. Right, Adam, what is your score prediction for Spurs?
2-1 United.
Okay, Gaz,
3-2 United.
Mers.
Who?
Go on, what's your prediction, Stephen?
2-2. Let's go
2-2.
for
Ollie.
some.
All right, thanks, Ollie. Right, apologies for the fact that this is a shambles. I have no idea how Doctor Who keeps up with times. I can't do it. We beat Newcastle, obviously, that was great. And apparently we're going to beat Spurs. I think it will be
Christmas is
1-0. I haven't got a clue anymore. I hope you've had a great Christmas. Have a happy New Year, and we'll be back soon, probably.
And a ho-ho.
That's not how the song goes.
David De Gea. Do you remember all that hoo-ha back in the day saying David De Gea likes his tacos too much, too busy eating tacos? Well, now he is one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, in Premier League history. He deserves a bloody Christmas taco.